EA currently holds exclusive rights to make games based on Disney's Star Wars IP. Well, hold on to your hats. Reports have emerged online this week that Disney might be interested in giving a license to other publishers.
According to the website CineLinks, who cite multiple sources close to this, Disney recently held a meeting with EA execs to ask what the flip is happening with the Star Wars video games. Quick reminder, EA is about 5 years into its decade-long exclusive Star Wars deal with Disney, and all we've had is an underwhelming Star Wars shooter, a hugely controversial Star Wars shooter that's actually motivating politicians in different parts of the world to pass new laws protecting kids from gambling-like practices, and a cheap crummy mobile game. On top of that, all we've really had is word that games are in development at a couple of studios, and one game that was effectively canned and got its developer Visceral Games shut down. Hardly what we all hoped for when Disney and EA announced this deal back in May 2013, and probably not what Disney had hoped for either. There's even actually a petition, for f***'s sake, of course there is. What in gaming does not have a petition these days? There's even actually a petition with 187,000 signatures pleading that Disney take the Star Wars license away from EA.
Well, following all the controversy surrounding Star Wars Battlefront 2's loot boxes late last year, which was even rumoured to have seen Disney leadership contact EA leadership directly to get them to switch off that game's microtransactions, it seems Disney is now looking elsewhere. If CineLinks' report is to be believed, Disney has actually approached some of EA's competitors, chiefly Ubisoft and Activision, about what they could do with the Star Wars brands. There is apparently a clause in a license agreement between Disney and EA that leaves Disney free to back out if EA is not meeting certain standards.
But if you are a Star Wars fan who's just desperate for this to be true, remember, none of this is actually official yet. CineLinks' report is actually much more of a trust us, we've been told kind of thing, and much less of a display of actual evidence.
But after the Battlefront 2 debacle and EA's poor showing overall, it's not totally unrealistic for Disney to do something like this. It would be devastating for EA, who are still ploughing money into the development of further Star Wars games. But could it even be a matter of taking away exclusivity and letting someone else join the party while EA continues with whatever projects they've still got cooking away? And could Disney, rather than sign a big deal with a big publisher, sign lots of deals with lots of smaller studios instead?
So who else could step in to take on the Star Wars license? Disney is apparently approaching the likes of Activision and Ubisoft, but are they really the best choices? We think we can do much better. Now, Activision and Ubisoft would certainly have the capability of putting out some titanic Star Wars games. Activision, with all its shooter expertise, and Ubisoft, with its penchant for open, live worlds, could both put something decent out with a Star Wars license. The trouble is there, you run the risk of falling into exactly the same trap as with EA. A big, flashy game with lots of marketing and little substance and plenty of monetization. Of the two though, we'd have to say that Ubisoft feels like the better option, if only for the greater variety of potential games and scope for something that isn't a competitive shooter or a subpar license game. A better idea, we think, would be picking a bunch of video game producers, not just one name or one brand. Take Obsidian, for example, currently working on the soon-to-be-released Pillars of Eternity 2, and a company who's made not only one of the best Star Wars games ever, but one of the best games ever, full stop, don't at me. Obsidian Entertainment!
Obsidian's Knights of the Old Republic 2 is one of the best. Me and Mike both think that. We will both fight you if necessary. The Lion and the Dragon, back to back, Bruce and Jet will f***ing take you. Obsidian!
There was like an emotional desperation. We'll f***ing take you.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll defend it, man.
Obsidian did a lovely job with Knights of the Old Republic 2 in 2004, and their recent games have been nothing short of modern RPG classics, particularly with Pillars of Eternity. But this studio even made an RPG based on South Park work. 2014's The Stick of Truth was a bloody good game. Imagine that studio on this kind of form, with that kind of vintage, working on a Star Wars game again. The real question is, why the hell isn't this happening already?
Creative Assembly! Creative Assembly are the people that make the wonderful Total War series of strategy games on PC. I would like for them very much, please, to make a Star Wars game for me, please. Now, hear me out. Total War is a hybrid game. It has two distinct halves. One is a grand strategy layer where you plan, expand your empire, invade new territories, negotiate with rivals, conduct diplomacy, build up your settlements and your cities. The other half is its real-time tactical battles. When two armies meet, the player pits his or her army of hundreds or even thousands of troops against an opposing army. It's flipping marvellous. Creative Assembly could definitely adapt the formula to fit a sci-fi setting. Some of Star Wars' greatest battles pan out like great pitched battles of old, with two armies squaring off before running or walking right into each other. The Battle of Hoth, and especially the battles from the prequel movies spring to mind. That could definitely work as a total war game, complete with empire management. And CA has done naval battles in the past in some of its titles. You know what's kinda like naval battles? Space battles, mate. Disney, make it happen. Larian Studios!
Like Obsidian, Larian are a studio that's absolutely stomping it when it comes to old school RPGs on the PC. Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 are both impeccable games, packed with ingenious design, wonderfully interesting characters, and an incredibly detailed, immersive, and charming world. Larian look like they have all the ingredients that made Lionhead Studios such a beloved company, with the hardcore nuts and bolts of game design to back it up. While their bread and butter is in making D&D style games, having them apply their creativity and ingenuity to the Star Wars universe would be a mouth-watering project.
Kojima Productions! What I want is to see Hideo Kojima messing up the Star Wars universe. I want to see what Hideo Kojima, the man behind Metal Gear Solid and the upcoming bewildering Death Stranding, I mean, what the f*** is going on there? I mean, I want to see that guy making a Star Wars game.
It would definitely be a Rogue One Star Wars game, just because you could get Mads Mikkelsen in it. And speaking of trying to desperately communicate with your idols over the means of social media or comment sections, let's have a look at your comments this week.
I'm commenting on our Sea of Thieves info dump video this week. The Aggressive Pizza says, it's cool but kind of funny if you think about it. Like how a loot box is essentially a treasure chest, and there won't be any in a pirate game. Lol. It's very well observed. Very pithy, Mr. Aggressive Pizza.
Yeah, I always thought Aggressive Pizza was just like a bot generated
So
to say,
did I.
remember the pizza is aggressive?
Yeah.
And then like this week, they've just come out like, oh, it's GIF, not GIF, and like, oh, treasure
Actual
chest.
comments.
I mean,
Actual
they're
YouTube
really
comments.
good comments to be
Just
fair.
maybe we should explain very explicitly. Aggressive Pizza would just constantly comment the words Aggressive Pizza. That's the thing that happens on YouTube for some reason. But suddenly started doing comments and there's some pithy observational humour about how there's not treasure loot crates in a game with pirates.
Maybe Aggressive Pizza is a bot though, like, you know, the
But
Twitter
like
bot.
it's just learning.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
learning.
Yeah, it's like it saw that we were quite into the old bots with the Twitter bot video, and then thought maybe I just, I can break protocol and start going out.
The
on my
Aggressive
own.
Pizza is Skynet. This is where it starts, right?
Oh
This
my
is where it
God.
starts. It starts out as a bot. It's learned a lot of words by reading YouTube comments and watching YouTube videos, and now it's like this is the path.
Definitely not a human. Definitely not a human. And also on our Sea of Thieves info dump, Zan expresses concerns with, expect a strongly worded email, Jake. I was planning on purchasing Destiny 2 just today, in fact, in order to uncover the hidden lore of the game. The guns and RPG systems don't interest me in the slightest, and I was interested in the rich narrative, and Jake, you took that from me. I shan't forgive, I shan't forget.
I think that right, just a theory. I think that's a little bit of humour there. I think that might be a joke.
That's a joke.
Yeah,
I hope
he's
so.
just having a bit of a there's no real story in Destiny kind of joke.
And I've ruined it for him 4 months on. It's
But,
because
sarcasm, very good work. Freddie comments on the pilot episodes of Myth Pounders. Oh, you mean GIFs Galore, the CD-ROM? That's an excellent comment. That's a very, very funny
Really
comment
good,
because there's only 7 words, 8 words max, and it's a damning critique of the YouTube comment section.
And then somebody tried to argue with him, and then he just replied saying, "Don't be that jive." So the follow-up comment was even better. Yeah,
it's great. It's got genuine belly laughs in there, mate.
It was really good.
That's where the office is. That's why I was pointing that way.
A cupboard or something. And commenting on our loot box Bills video, pretty good gaming comments. What a fantastic result, eh, guys? What do you reckon? Oh, and thanks for your cat concerns. It's actually footage of a man protecting his puppy from being attacked by a cheeky raccoon. Everyone live, cheers. Right, yeah, so that's actually me. I read out my own comment on the Saturday show. I just wanted to express a quick apology to everyone who thought that I had featured footage of a man throwing a cat down the stairs in the video. Sorry about that. It was a dog getting attacked by a raccoon, and the man picks up the raccoon and he throws it into the shadow realm. It's funny because when you know the context, but
it was like a self-defense throw.
Yeah, and the raccoon lived. I mean, if you want more context, there is a link that I sent there. But I mean, I genuinely felt bad because there was some quite nice people commenting, like really upset that I had a man killing a cat, but he wasn't killing anything and it wasn't a cat. So I'm sorry about that.
So who do you think should take on the Star Wars license? Who'd make a good game with it? Let us know your suggestions down in the comments. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it and do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. There's another video right there which you can watch right now if you want, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.